In real estate, opportunities come by. There's no time for you to walk to it. You gotta run to it. One of the things I wanted to bring you to this block is because this was during the recession that I actually picked up and bought this property. As you can see, there's high-rise all around us now. It wasn't like this literally 5 or 6 years ago. All of my friends started to move to downtown Jersey City. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was the reason, but I just went to go check it out. So I'm walking down this block and I see a for sale sign, and it's so small. It's like literally behind a fence. So I actually went into the parking lot, looked up for sale sign, took a picture, and the brokerage was like, oh, you know, we don't have that house up. And I said, no, you do have that house up. And here is the address, and here is the contact information. Here it is inside. We renovated the entire thing. So this is the backyard, and as you can see, like, you look up, it's like that movie Up. You know, you see all these skyscrapers above you. So this place wasn't updated for a very, very long time. So, you know, when we got it, it was, you know, it was rough. Now this looks very modern and up to date. I think as real estate investors, I break it down into two sections: cash flow and appreciation. Let's say you buy a property and all your expenses is $2,000 and the rent roll $3,000. Let's say you bring in a cash flow of $1,000 a month. And that's very good, right? Here's the caveat to cash flow is that let's say you own that property and the furnace goes down.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna spend about $5,000 to $7,000.
Right.
It literally took away all your profit within that year. That's the thing about cash flow, is that it's not a whole lot. The other part is appreciation. As a real estate investor, I think you have to try to do both. Appreciation is basically if you buy the property, let's say for $245,000, and in 5 years or 6 years, and it makes $1 million. The cash flow is nice, but it's never going to be able to catch up to appreciation. Some of the people that I've talked with in terms of professionals that have been in real estate, you know, they go for both, which is cash flow and appreciation or upswing potential. It's never just one. As a real estate professional, I think that we can find properties or opportunities that are a little easier than some people, but certainly you have to, you know, look for them. In real estate, opportunities come by. There's no time for you to walk to it. You gotta run to it. Okay, I'll give you an example. The reason why I was late over here is because I was actually submitting an offer on a property. It's a two-family, and it's 2 blocks away from my current house where I live. It finally became available because they're asking $220,000 on it. And for a two-family, I know the rent roll, I know all the expenses, so now it's the condition of the property. Right. So if I can get it for $220 and then put in, let's say, $50,000, then that's $270. Once I do everything that's needed, I should be able to sell it to possibly $470 to $500. There's a whole bunch of people wanting the same deal, but how do I get in front of the deal? Speaking to that agent, leveraging cash to be able to get in front of the line. Listen, you know, like let's say your uncle, your mother, your brother, if you guys can come up with an agreement to say, listen, if a property becomes available, I am committed to this amount. You got to work together in order for you to get that price. This area is being developed, as we all know, and I think that there's definitely long-term potential for a development deal to happen. Now, even if a development deal does not happen, the rent roll that I have basically supports my position. This project is special to me because, you know, it kind of opened me up to the possibility of development. I started talking to a lot of different developers, and it taught me a lot. So after going through this process, every other deal is easy comparison to the development deal that I was working on. Cool. I look for properties that maybe perhaps has not been updated in many years. Ugly kitchens, ugly bathrooms. I love to buy those properties as long as they have the good structure and the layout. So every part of this house has been touched on. Cool. to ensure that whoever's that's coming in, that they're you know, they have a great product. Yeah, you know what? If you want, we can go and grab a drink and a cigar.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, knowing air rights is really important too. Like this whole Jersey City area, like I'm able to study the air rights situation, so I'm able to have a good idea in terms of like what the potential value it could be for the land. Now this is the place to be versus before, you know? The last video, my wife was like, "You need to smile more. You can't just be so serious." I'm like, I'm trying not to. We're using YouTube as a platform for us to kind of showcase, like, you know, what I'm doing and my team is doing. I want to basically curve that learning curve, and you know, it might change the way that you handle business. You make money, and as much as you make, you can't take that with you. My mom said this to me, like, you know, if you're thirsty, you drink that water right now and it'll be gone because it dies with you. But you know, if you leave some of that water behind and you give it to somebody else, maybe perhaps your children, your family will benefit after you. There's challenges, but then there's also victories. And if it wasn't for the fact that on the street that I found out about these victories, I wouldn't be compelled to go that route. I hope you learned a few things today, and please subscribe, and look forward to us making money together.